the famous conference, discussion at Capernaum, kind of preparation for accepting the presence of Jesus in our midst sacramentally. What is the difference between the sacramental presence and what is called sometimes the historical presence? There is no difference. It is the same Jesus, except, as it were, in different appearances, different forms, but the same God, the same man, the God-man, who is the Son of the Father, was born of the Virgin Mary. Almost at the same time that this sermon occurred, we find, as it were also the confession of faith of Saint Peter. Peter, our Lord, tested them on the mountain. He asked them, as it were, who do men say that I am? And they said, well, all kinds of characters. And I think that if you ask people today, who do they think Jesus is, you get just as many strange answers. But then there comes, as it were, the test, but who do you say that I am? And St. Peter replied, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. It is the same St. Peter who responded at the end, do you want to leave also? You can. Grievance, final, what do they call that now? Now when you're dismissed from your job, you get a little bit of extra pay to hold you over. Allah said, but I'm not changing my teaching. I'm not teaching my teaching that is a source of everlasting life. It is a hard thing. It's a hard, as it were, to believe. Well, if we think about a little bit with St. Peter on this occasion, it's a lot easier to think about the mystery of the Eucharist than it is, as it were, to spending an eternity in hell. And that is the substance of his reply, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of everlasting life. There is only one alternative, and that is the eternal flames of punishment in hell. Not life, but death forever. Some people think death is the same thing as non-existence. That is not true. You're dead, but you're still existing. Let us reflect upon it often, the response that St. Peter gave to our Lord, thou hast the words of everlasting life. We have come to believe and we are convinced. It's not a dead faith. It's a live faith. Faith that St. Peter is confessing. That thou art the Holy One of God. Some translations in Latin have thou art the Son of the living God. But if you examine carefully the discussion between Our Lady and the Archangel Gabriel, you will find, as it were, that it says that you are the Holy One of God, you are the Son of God. Both titles are there. They mean the same thing. This man is God, but he is man as well. And that is, as it were, the difficulty, theologically you might say, that so many of the people had. They simply could not grasp the mystery of the Incarnation. It's not a new problem. It's not an old problem only. Some of the most famous of the German exegetes of the last century didn't become Catholics because they could not begin to imagine how there could be such a thing as an incarnation. So we want, as it were, to put ourselves with St. Peter. It's not 2,000 years ago, confessing him, as they say, he is alive. We are in his midst. It's whenever we come to receive him in Holy Communion, we give confession to his divinity, his real presence here. Ask Our Lady to help to help you always to have a strong faith, to have a hope that is unconditional, that you will not be disappointed. Indeed, as it were, that to a certain point, our Lord has already fulfilled that hope, in His when we receive Him in Holy Communion. Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Fructum ventris tui,